So I'm going to present you with another interesting way of deriving the quadratic formula. If you've seen my video from a few weeks ago about my two favorite ways of deriving the quadratic formula. So this is another way of deriving the quadratic formula. It's a little bit more complex in that it requires the understanding of square roots. So let's start. So we have classic ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. It's our starting point. That's how I think of it. And from there we just subtract c. And this is where it gets interesting. So we factor it by doing square root of x plus b over 2 times the square root of a. So square ax plus b over 2 root a. And then we square all of this. And this equals negative c plus b squared over 4a, right? So we have ax squared plus b root ax over 2 root a. And then we have plus b root ax over 2 root a. So 2b root ax over 2 root a right here. And also we have plus b squared over 2 times root a squared is 4a. Plus b squared over 4a. So these cross out, these cross out. So you're just left with bx. Bx. And then you have to add b squared over 4a to both sides. So there we have that. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Square root of ax plus b over 2 square root of a. Say this is equal to plus or minus the square root of, so b squared minus 4ac over 4a, right, equals b squared minus 4ac over 4a. And now we can write this as plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, familiar, right, over 2 times the square root of a. And this is where it gets interesting. So now what we have to do, I'm going to erase this for more space. So now we just have square root of ax plus b over 2 root a equals plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2 root a. Here this is. And now, let's see, we just multiply both sides by 2 root a. So 2 root a, we get 2ax plus 2 root a, cancels out. So b equals plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Hold on, this is... And now, we subtract b, we get 2ax equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. Now we're pretty much there. We just divide both sides by 2a. We get x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over, let's write 2a. So here we have it. Quadratic formula. I'm going to erase this. So there you have it. This is another way of deriving the quadratic formula. It's a little bit less known than the other two ways I showed in a video from a few weeks ago, but it's still a pretty interesting way. It's a little bit longer, but anyway. See you in the next video.